Hello everyone. This is my full course of JavaScript. If you're new to web development, this is your career game changer. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome to this video. If you are new to this channel, you can check my JavaScript playlist so you can understand the fundamentals of JavaScript. Okay. Now get back into the topic. In this video, we are going to learn about JavaScript variables and values. Okay. Now the first one, values. So the values are actually a piece of data that JavaScript process. Okay, for example, it can be a number or text or boolean array, anything. Here I'll show you some examples. Here I am adding console. Instead of typing console.log like this, you can use log. So VS Code will suggest you some. Okay, you can use this. If you click this log means it will automatically write console.log. Here you can say done. So this is one data. Okay, if I run this means you can see it will be console, right? If you oh, I didn't save that. Okay, so if I run again means you can see the John in output, right? So this is the data processed by the JavaScript. So this is called values. Okay, it may be a name or a number. For example, it may be a number like this, or I can show you some simple way. Okay, I will replicate this console.log. For that, don't try Control C and Control V. VS Code giving some shortcut for you. If you press Shift Alt down means it will create copy of your current line. Okay, like this. Okay, you can use this. So here it may be a place, example Singapore. So this may be a boolean, for example true or false. Then it may be a numbers, for example 5 plus 5. Maybe a array. We will learn array and objects little later. Just learn this array. Okay, just understand it may be a object. Okay, if I run this means, oh, I didn't save that. Okay, run this means you can see John Singapore and boolean value true and the addition value number and array empty array and empty object. So these are the datas now processed by the JavaScript. So this is called values. Okay, now I will show you some real-time example. For example, I opened Amazon websites. So here you can see they are they are giving some 75% offer of headphone. Here you can see some watches, shoes, the mouses, and washing machines and ACs. These are all values because these are the informations are handled by JavaScript. Now the second one, variables. Basically, these variables are a containers or a placeholder. This is used to store our JavaScript values. For example, here we are using values like username, place, boolean, numbers, array, object, anything. These values are stored inside JavaScript using this variable concept. Okay, JavaScript stores these variables inside this heap. Okay, heap is nothing but a JavaScript storage. This is created by JavaScript engine during runtime. If you are not familiar in JavaScript heap means, you can check my JavaScript heap video. I will paste that link in description below. Okay. Okay. Now get back to the topic. These variables are, yeah, basically it's a storage location. So we give this name of the storage. Okay, this is called variable name. It allow you to reference and manipulate values in your code. Variables are declared using keywords like var, let, const. We'll see deep dive into this in upcoming videos. Okay, now I give you one example. Basically, just understand this example where first name to John. So we already know this is a value. This is variable name. This is keyword. Okay, we need to use where, let, const, anything. I will explain these things one by one little later, so don't get confused. we can declare this using stuff where I can use let, I can use const. So like this we can declare our variables. I will give you one more example so you can understand this better. So just imagine this is our variable. Okay, so we already know variables is a container. Okay, this is a container. So it will, we named this container is called first name. Okay, the value of the container is John. Okay, this is this I will, so this is John is that inside this container value. So the container name is first name. Okay, so if we want to use this value means we can just call this container name. Okay, because this container having the value. Okay, so we can use this container name. I will give you an example. Before that I need to clear this clear this terminal because you can see it's fully occupied. If you want to clear means you can just clear, type clear and click enter, so it will clear your terminal. Okay, now I will add console. Okay, as already told, just type log, you can click this, so you can get console.log. Here I am using first name. Okay, I am duplicating this, saving this. If I run this means you can see, what it explain is first name is already declared. Yeah, we I am already reusing this, so it's showing error. I can comment this and you can see. Okay, now I am saved. Okay, these things not commented. So if you want to comment this means just select all and click control plus backslash. If you add comment means these are the codes are not executed by JavaScript. So these are all not executed. Now again I am clearing my terminal. If you click up arrow means you can see this previous command. Okay, I cleared. Now again I'm using node and variable.js because this is my file name. So you can see first name is John because we assigned this value to this variable, so we can refer the variable. Okay, I mean, you can see this line, variables are named storage location for a value. It allow you to reference the values in your, so here we referred this variable name. Okay, so you can use let or const anything, it will work. So for example, when I am doing this, you can see this output. Okay, similarly const also. Now I am using where for your understanding. Okay, now we understand how to refer the variable. Okay, second one, it allowed you to manipulate the values in your code. For example, here we declared, so here we declared first name with value of John. If you want to change this variable value means, I mean, this value means you can redeclare it, I mean you can manipulate it. For example, first name equal to Peter. If I give this means, you can see what it happens. See, you can see the output is Peter. So we manipulate the variable name now. Okay, so this is the meaning of this line. So the fourth one, variables are declared using keywords like where, let, const followed by chosen name. So this is the keyword, these are the keywords, these are the variable name. Okay, now we'll break down this variable concept one by one. Okay, here I added some simple steps so you can understand better. I will explain this one by one. Okay, the first one is declaration part, means creating a variable part. Okay, like let first name. So now we created a one variable using a keyword and we give the variable name is called first name. Okay, this is first one. So I comment this first name already we used. Okay, the second one is initialization, means assigning a variable value to this variable name. Okay, for example, first name equal to John. Okay, now we assign this value to this variable. So this is second step, initialization. Okay, we can use like this, or we can do like this also. Example, let first name equal to John. So these two things are same one. Okay, JavaScript will understand this. Okay, so this is second part. Okay, now the third one, assignment, means changing the value stored in the variable. I mean, manipulating the value. For example, first name to Peter. This is the third part. Here we manipulating this variable name. Now I add console.log first name. Click save. If I run this means, you can see variable value is manipulated. Here we initially we declared a John. After that we manipulate that value to Peter. So this is the third part. I hope you understand this. So we learned what is value and what is variable. Okay. Now we need to learn certain rules before creating a variable. Okay, because these values can be changed. For example, here we already declared a first name as a John, then we reassigned that value to Peter. Okay, so this value can be changed, okay, over a time, but this variable name will not change. Okay, so this is very very important to create a variable name. Okay, there are certain rules JavaScript providing, so we'll explore one by one. Okay, first one, the variable name must begins with small a to z or uppercase a to z, or start with underscore, or it can be start with a dollar. For example, let first name equal to John. Okay, this is acceptable. You can add underscore. Okay, this is also acceptable. I will show you output. Okay, I click save. If I run this means, you can see the output as a John. So this one acceptable. You can start with uppercase also. You can create a variable name like this also. For example, full uppercase. So this thing also acceptable. You can add dollar symbol also. For example, add dollar means this is also acceptable. Okay, but it cannot start with number. For example, mm, leave it like this. I add one more variable. Five numbers, five value equal to five. See, this is not acceptable. If I console this means, you can see the output. You already see the red line. Okay, it's showing some error. If I run this means, will throw the error. You can see invalid or unexpected token. So this is not acceptable. But you can add numbers in second position. For example, if I add like this means it is acceptable. If I add here means it is acceptable. If I run this means, you can see the output. You can see the output. So this is acceptable. So it cannot start with number. Okay. And third one, JavaScript is case sensitive. For example, here I am writing first name like this. Okay, here I add console. Here I console first name. Run this means you can see the output. But in case if I change this n to small letter means, here I am using uppercase letter. Here I change it to smaller case. So if I run this means, you can see first name is not defined. So this is case sensitive. So it's very important to follow this casing. Okay. Third one, cannot use fourth one, cannot use reserved keywords. Okay, for example, let என்ன சொல்லலாம், let if equal to true. Okay, you can see this is not acceptable, it's showing some warning. If I console if means, okay, console, I will run this and see the error, unexpected token if. So reserved keywords are not acceptable. Okay. Okay, then fifth one, we can use camel case for variable names. This is recommended by JavaScript. Okay, for example, if you are using two words as a variable name means, for example, here I used first name. Okay, here I will use one more variable, let last name. Okay, last underscore name equal to John Paul. So this one also fine, but what JavaScript suggesting is we can use naming like this. So this is called camel casing. So first word first letter small, the second word first letter is capital. Okay, so we can follow this. So this recommended by JavaScript. So mostly developers are using like this. Okay, so we learned a fifth point. Then we learned fourth point. Then fifth one, variable name should be meaningful and describe the purpose of the variable. This make your code more readable and maintainable. Okay, I will explain this. For example, here this is a username, right? This is a first name, this is last name. Okay, so here I given the variable name to first name and last name. Okay, this is acceptable. Don't use variable name like this. For example, let x equal to 5 or let I equal to 10. Don't use like this words for variable name. Okay, because for small application this is fine, but if you are working in real time project, this is not acceptable, because during the time you are getting these values dynamically. During the runtime, you are triggering on APIs, you are fetching the data from the backend and you are storing it to the some variables. So if you add like this way, like this, if you create like this means it's not acceptable. You can't understand what are the values stored in this. Okay, this is very very important. So before giving name to the variable, you should think at least 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, don't underestimate this point. Still I am also taking 2 to 3 minutes for choosing the variable name. Okay, why I am telling this, because okay, I will show you an example so you can understand this better. So this, okay, you can see this Amazon website. Okay, here you can see the language selection drop down, right? So here if you go here means it will show the supported language, right? So, okay, we are see this in header. If you scroll down means in footer also you can see the language selection drop down. Okay, if I select some language, if I select Hindi means, you can see here also it's changed to Hindi, here also it is changed to Hindi, right? So these are the two places they are using one variable. For example, like this, let selected language equal to English. Okay, so this is, so this place, this value is stored, they are referring this value to two places. Okay, so don't underestimate this fifth and fourth fifth and fourth one. This is very 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 critical. So while doing practice, please try, please try name with meaningful name. Okay, so this is very important. So quickly recap this video. Values are the actual pieces of information that JavaScript process. It can be a numbers or a person name or place or product name, anything. It may be a booleans also. Okay. Then variables. Variables are a containers that holds these values. Okay. So based on this variable, we can we can render the we can render this values, or we can something we can manipulate this value. Okay, by create for creating variable, there is certain rules we need to follow. Okay, variable name must start with a letter. It should not start with number. Okay, it can start with underscore or dollar sign. Okay, it's fine, but we should not start with number. But we can use numbers at the end or in between or middle of the variable name, so it's acceptable. But the initial, I mean first letter, it should not be number. Then JavaScript is case sensitive. So here you can see my var v uppercase, here my var v smaller case. So JavaScript will consider these two things are two different variables. So we should aware of casings. Don't use keywords. Example like example, if function, while, else, these are things are already reserved by JavaScript, so don't use this. A common convention is to use camel case for variable name. So JavaScript recommend this naming convention. So in camel case means first letter will be smaller case, then second word first letter should be capital case. Okay, so you can follow this. Then final one, make your variable names is meaningful and descriptive so that your code is easy to understand. So this fifth point is very 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 important one, guys. So don't underestimate this one, because for small program it's okay, you can easily find out. But if you are working in a real time application with more than 200 pages or something like that, means it's very difficult to manage this type of codes. Okay, so please, before giving a names to the variable, just take 2 or 3 minutes time. Okay, all right, that's it, guys. These are the things I like to share you in this video. I hope this video is useful for you. If you have any feedback or suggestion, feel free to post it in the comments below so that I can learn from it. If you found this video is helpful for someone, please share it with them so they can learn. If you like my work, feel free to like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you.